YouTube, what's going on with my people, man? Much love. It feels great to be back on here, bro. Been having a little bit of, just some issues filming different videos. So I got a couple new roommates at my house, and it seems like wherever I'm trying to film my videos and stuff, the different spots, people are always there and interrupting. I've tried to film a couple videos and do some podcasts, with Martin and stuff like that, and kept getting interrupted, you guys. So it's low-key been pretty frustrating, but it is what it is. I live in a house with a bunch of guys, and it comes with the territory. I can't just be sitting here complaining because the alternative is I could just go get a different spot. So I'm just gotta accept what's going on, but I just wanted to let you guys know, because I haven't really made too many new videos the last couple days since the last podcast that we dropped. But I got one for you guys today, man. Let me hit my intro though real quick, man. It's your boy Sebastian, aka Seb Waddles, aka Seb Conscious, man. Much love. Hopefully this video finds you guys at a good spot in your day, your morning. It's morning now. Much love, bro. On this channel, I like to talk about my experience here on this planet, certain things that I've been through, and how to help other people rise from spiritual death. All right, guys, putting down the bad habits, getting on a journey of self-improvement and self-love. That's what we like to talk about here. All right, y'all. Let's get into it. I want to talk about how you will outgrow people. Outgrowing people. It's a thing that, I've been going through. And it's difficult, because it's like a grieving process with certain people. It's like certain stuff is hard. Certain people are hard to let go. It could be really close friends. It could be family members. Going on a spiritual pathway, going on semen retention, being a chosen one, any of these things that are of spiritual nature and that get you in a place to where you end up feeling, or you end up going to, a higher spiritual plane. Anything that gets you on a higher spiritual plane, you're going to be outgrowing people, man. And it's kind of sad because you have to cut these people off. You kind of have to distance yourself, and it's part of the pathway, man. It's part of the sacrifice, that on the mission that God gives us, to become the true version of ourselves. All right, so it's part of the process. We can't get discouraged. We just gotta go with the flow, man, and understand that we're different. You become different on this pathway. You start to separate yourself. So you gotta accept that you're going to outgrow some people, and it's gonna be a little bit weird. But I want to get into it, man, about why you will outgrow people when you go on SR, and why you notice yourself kind of like not wanting to talk to certain people. Maybe you're talking to people, you guys aren't driving, you guys aren't really, feeling, it's not the same. You guys aren't really vibing the same, so I'm going to get into it why. The first one, you guys, is that you're literally becoming a new person. All right, you go on semen retention, your spiritual pathway, you're putting God first. You're being reborn, you guys. You got to understand, you're being reborn. For someone like me, who believes in Jesus Christ and God, the Holy Spirit will literally, you will be reborn in the name of Jesus. If you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, and you start putting God first on a daily basis, bro, you're gonna be reborn. Whether you consider yourself saved or you consider yourself whatever it is, okay? And then for the guys that aren't Christians, you're also becoming a new person too. You're putting down all of your bad habits. You're cleaning yourself out. Maybe you're doing shadow work. You're moving differently. So you're becoming a brand new person. All right, guys. And we're evolving at a very fast pace. All right. Sometimes I feel like we don't even realize how fast we're evolving. I was talking with my boy Martin the other day, and it was just like, dude, talking about like magnetism, and talking about how you still get unwanted attention, and how things still come into your life even when you're feeling off. But sometimes I feel like I don't realize how much work we're actually putting in. Guys like us on semen retention and doing this stuff, you guys, like if you guys are in that routine mode to where you're consistent and doing this stuff on a daily basis and just being disciplined and all that good stuff, putting in a lot of work, to the universe. All right, you're putting that out. Your intention is it's very serious, man, and you're gonna get that back. All right, so it's yeah. I had a realization the other day. I was just like, wow, I've leveled up, quite a bit, and I feel like there's periods to where it's kind of just like a blur because you just get so focused on SR and you start doing all these things, doing your routine, getting into stuff like that. I go to work, I go to the gym, make my videos and my podcasts and things like that, and I feel like I get so dialed in to where there's certain periods, guys, where I'm just like, sometimes a month will go by, I'm just like, wow, like put in a lot of work, but it's just kind of like you're on autopilot, so all of that time, even if you do feel like you're on autopilot, you're still evolving. That's the beauty of it. So even if you don't feel that progress or whatever, that feeling that you have when you're growing and you're just kind of on autopilot putting in work, you got to understand that whole time we're evolving that whole time as well. So yeah, that's another reason, man. We're evolving every single day, and other people aren't necessarily doing that. There's a lot of people. I want to stop saying everybody when I keep saying that, because I'm trying to be a little bit more mindful when I speak about the other people and stuff like that. I know there's definitely a large amount of people on the planet that are low vibrational and doing good stuff, but I want to stop saying everybody, and I'm gonna say like a large portion of people aren't doing the work, so you're separating yourself, and it is what it is, man. It doesn't make you better than these people. Don't get into that ego mindset to where you think you're better. You're not better. You're just separating. Your thoughts are in different places. Your spirit is in a different place. The way you operate is in a different place. You're operating in the spirit, and all these other people are operating in the flesh. So it's two different things. So, another reason why you're gonna outgrow people, you guys, is that you're not average. All right, you're not average. You're like I just mentioned. It's kind of like you're separating yourself. You're practicing things. You're practicing a very, semen retention is a very advanced, ancient spiritual practice that a lot of people don't know about. All right, so you're going to be doing stuff that a lot of people don't know about. You're in that 1% club that we like to say. And I forgot I had coffee, bro. Sheesh. So you're in that group that people, a group that the 1%, man. You don't have too many other people doing this, so you're gonna kind of be like an alien, So you'll be outgrowing people, man. Like people aren't gonna be understanding you. You're not gonna be relating to people. You're gonna be relating to your like-minded brotherhood, But as far as all the other people, might end up just being like pretty surface level, you guys. So you got to just be able to use your discernment, understand who is who and who you can kind of be around and who's good for you and who feeds your spirit and who is over here doing, BS and living worldly, and just decide who you want to be around, man. That's kind of the name of the game. Another reason, you guys, is that your vibration, when you go on semen retention, putting God first on a spiritual pathway, your vibration has literally skyrocketed, bro. Vibration has skyrocketed, and other people's vibration is still kind of like, wherever they're at. If they're not doing any work, internal work, and any spiritual work, I'm sorry, but your vibration is not that high. All right, if you're still living worldly and you're not doing any internal work, spiritual work, your vibration isn't going to be that special. You're still just going to be kind of like down here, and I feel like that's the problem, is that people don't understand that, man. They don't understand that they're right here. Their vibration is very average, and they think that it's normal. They don't even know. I feel like that's a huge problem with a lot of the world, is that they don't understand the importance of tapping in with your spiritual life. That it improves your entire life, gets you on a high vibration. So it's another reason is your vibration is going way up and everyone else's is kind of staying the same. So like I said, you're not going to be seeing eye to eye. You're going to be butting heads spiritually. Whether or not you guys are getting into like little arguments or whatever, it's all spiritual. You're just not going to be able to vibe with these people. Because all of a sudden, you know, you're going to be chilling, and then, you know, they're going to end up just starting to indulge in some BS that you don't really agree with, you know, and you're just going to be like, you know, that's a red flag. I don't want to be around these type of people, you know. That's been my experience. I feel like I can chill with certain people for a little bit of a period of time, and then all of a sudden you find out who they are, you know. It's like, man, and then certain things you can't let slide, you know, certain red flags, you don't sweep them under the rug, man. You gotta take it into account, bro. Protect your energy. It's a lot more valuable than you think. All right, guys? So that's another one. Your vibration is skyrocketed. Oh, and then the last one. You're going to outgrow the people, obviously, but some people are going to turn into Agent Smith, bro. Like, people, you go on semen retention, start putting God first, living spiritually, protecting your energy, staying isolated, doing your thing on your routine. You're going to get people that are going to turn into Agent Smith on you, bro. You know, somebody who is naturally happy and authentic, like you, is going to get hated on, bro. Somebody who can be naturally be happy and authentic and joyful and grateful, and you're not letting things rattle you. People, you go around, bro, oh yeah, people are going to hate on you. You know, people are going to try to throw stones at you because they're jealous, you know, subconsciously. They're going to make it seem like you're doing something wrong, but you're not doing anything wrong. You're just being yourself and being happy. You know, I always tell the story of that one girl at my job who I was dancing at my work, feeling high vibrational and feeling good, and the girl came up to me and she's like, you know, you're too happy to be at work. You know, I looked at her, I'm like, what? Excuse me? Like, you're too happy to be at work. I'm like, wow. All right. And then, what do you know? That same girl later hit me up and wanted me to come over and you already know. She wanted me to smash. And I'm just like, absolutely not. So she already exposed herself, you know, as somebody who, you know, Agent Smith type person. So, like I said, man, you're going to have people that just end up switching on you. Right? So you're going to outgrow these people because they're going to be exposing themselves, you know? They're going to be exposing themselves. So, like I said, man, you get on a high vibration, you go on semen retention, you're going to a higher spiritual plane. To break it down, to kind of summarize it, it's a removal process of all the toxic stuff going on with us, and then we're going up to a higher spiritual plane, and everyone else isn't doing that. So you're literally, like I said, don't turn it into an ego thing. Please don't do that. It's not. You're not better than someone. You're just operating differently. You know, that's it. But you're ascending spiritually. So it's like, it's going to be hard to interact with these people that are still down here, you know? So that's how it is, man. You just got to learn to meet new people. Once you go up, meet new people that are up here with you. Meet like-minded brothers and people like that who are on the same spiritual path and things like that, you guys, because you don't want to stay around people that are still trying to pull you down, doing crabs in the bucket type stuff. You don't want to be around these type of people. You know, anybody that's kind of being low vibrational or whatever it is that they're doing. All right, protect your energy. Be very, very careful with where you spend your energy and who you want to be around. So, all right, y'all, this video is getting long. As always, I'm chopping it up because I haven't made a video for you guys in a while, and this is a really important one, man. You will outgrow people. You know, it's confusing. It can be sad. It could be, you know, grieving certain friendships and family members and stuff, but this is what we have to do. This is part of the journey. This is part of the sacrifice. If you really want to, like, be a child of God and really want to accept that mission and really elevate, you have to do this. You know, it's part of the deal. So, all right, much love, guys. I will catch you guys later. Stay tuned. Me and Martin have a podcast on the way, man. Episode 119 of the Unchained, or 118 of the Unchained podcast. Coming soon, bro. Stay tuned. All right, much love, y'all. Hope you guys are staying strong on your journey, and I will talk to you guys next time. Peace.